cricket has always been poorly managed. Even before BCCI jumped to power, everyone knows it was mainly England and in a smaller role, but Australia as well, along with them, who were the global powers in world cricket before India kind of took over with the advent of IPL. So cricket was not ruled any better that time. And you have a lot of examples of that where world cricket has been victim of poor management and discrimination or partiality. So it is nothing new, and those who have been following cricket for a long time or have been well updated with what has happened in the past, they would agree with me here. Some of the examples that I can remember are, first of all, in 1909, when cricket was seeing a lot of global interest, that was the perfect time to kind of have cricket as a global sport just like other sports. And in fact, cricket was well on track for that. But then you had England, who came in way and decided to only include Commonwealth countries into their cricket ecosystem and kind of gatekept the sport from other nations like the United States or Canada and other bigger nations. And that ruined cricket's ambition to become a global sport all the way back in 1909. And now we can see a lot of efforts being taken and how all the fans wanted to become a global sport. 110 years back, they had the opportunity and they didn't grab it. They not only missed that train, but they literally threw that train off track. And it's taken over 110 years for someone to think about it again and go back in that direction. Also, you had until the 1990s, where England and Australia and their boards having veto power in all the decisions taken by ICC. Whatever decisions were taken, they had the power to overturn or take their own decisions, which is unbelievable. And you also had the World Cups in 1979, 83, both being held in England. 87 as well was well on its way, only that the Asian nations revolted against that and they had to eventually agree, and hence the 87 World Cup was played in India and Pakistan. So that is also a bit of a story. So veto power was a big aspect of England and Australian cricket at that time, and they kind of ruled world cricket. And then you had the advent of IPL in 2007, 2008, and then England realized that India was growing as a cricketing powerhouse and they might have felt a bit insecure about their power in world cricket. So before they were displaced by the Indians, they decided to architect the concept of the big three. And that is how India, England, Australia became the big three of world cricket superpowers, and not exactly having veto power in a direct sense. Of course, indirectly they still do hold a lot of power, but major revenue was redirected towards these three boards, and that is still the case, though India are majorly ahead of the other two, but it's still considered to be a kind of a triopoly, I would say, in world cricket. And though there are talks of that reducing in the future, but remember that it is England who architected this current system of the big three. So cricket has never been managed as well as it should have. And while you are right in criticizing the current global power, you should not forget that they've not degraded the sport in any way, at least its leadership. It has always been bad. And though that in itself is unfortunate, and that is not a excuse for the current powers to continue in that way, but I just felt that that is important to mention here because of the current scenario.